FTX, the world's second most popular crypto exchange, has pretty much completely collapsed. They filed for bankruptcy. Their own token, FTT, just did a Luna. The company is under investigation by US authorities, and they have allegedly been hacked for over $500 million worth of crypto. And you can see that crypto being moved around on Etherscan right now. Damn. This is the hardest crash and burn I think I've ever seen an exchange go through. So boys, go ahead now and press an F to pay respects to the people that lost their cryptocurrency because they trusted FTX with their private keys. And also pay respects to every crypto investor who doesn't even use FTX, who wasn't even aware of them, but they've been wondering what the hell has been going on for the past few weeks with the crypto markets. Bitcoin has been dumping. The stablecoin Tether got unpegged from the dollar briefly. That's not supposed to happen in the crypto world. This is like the US dollar suddenly losing 7 cents in value. So FTX founder and former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, aka SBF, who was thought to be like the crypto equivalent of Warren Buffett, okay? This guy who started the crypto company that was getting commercials played at the Super Bowl, the same crypto company that had its name on the Miami Heat's basketball stadium, even Tom Brady and Larry David endorsed FTX in their Super Bowl commercials. But it turns out that with FTX, your funds were not safeu because in addition to FTX, SBF owned another company called Alameda Research, which is a trading firm. Now, these are supposed to be two separate companies, but of the $14.6 billion in assets that Alameda owned, its primary investment was in the FTT token, which was created by FTX and is also the primary asset that FTX was invested in. But FTT is also a token that FTX is just able to create more of whenever they want. And another $864 million of Alameda's assets was locked in Solana. So essentially, they had billions of dollars worth of assets, right? Like on paper, they're worth billions and billions of dollars, but they have no liquidity because it's mostly in their own centralized token that they can print more of whenever they want. So that's pretty much worthless, and locked tokens that they can't sell off whenever they want. And to make matters worse, the company had over $8 billion in debt. Most of it was coming from loans. But wait, things get even worse. So remember how I said that FTX is the second most popular crypto exchange? That's because Binance is number one. And CZ, the CEO of Binance, and SBF, former CEO of FTX, they're rivals, to say the least, okay? These guys don't like each other. In fact, they hate each other's guts. So when it was revealed that Alameda Research's assets are just thin air and that FTX was starting to pretty much look like a Ponzi scheme, CZ announced on Twitter that Binance was going to start liquidating the remaining FTT on their books because they were also invested in that token, which of course caused the price to go down because now Binance is going to be dumping $2.1 billion worth of a token on the open market that nobody even wants. So there's all of this supply with no demand. And of course, other people, they followed suit by dumping their own FTT holdings, which has caused the price of FTT to crash from around $23 when CZ made this tweet to around $2 per token now. And this all got people wondering if FTX has any solvency whatsoever, because remember, their primary investment was in their own crypto, which they can just print whenever, and their competitor is dumping that token. So this got people withdrawing other cryptos, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, that they had deposited into FTX because they do the whole custodial wallet thing too. And eventually, all of the crypto that FTX was holding for people was gone. So they had to freeze withdrawals because they don't have your Bitcoin, they don't have your Ethereum, they don't have your Doge, they can't give you any of it. And for a little while, it actually looked like Binance was going to swoop in and save the day by providing liquidity to FTX's users. I mean, after all, Binance was already a bigger exchange. So as long as their users, like Binance's users, didn't also start running to withdraw their funds at the same time, Binance realistically could have provided liquidity to FPX, and then they would have just acquired FTX. You know, it would have been absorbed into the company, or it would have been used as some puppet exchange for Binance, something like that. So that was tweeted on November the 8th. But then the next day, the Binance account tweeted, as a result of corporate due diligence, as well as the latest news reports regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of FTX.com. And then recently, CZ has just been talking a bit of trash about SBF and FTX and just doing some general promotion for Binance. Like, they did some transparency updates a couple of days ago. Basically, they were just publishing their current asset holdings on Twitter and just telling people the breakdown of that. I mean, they had it on their website already, but putting it out on Twitter just makes it a little bit more visible. They topped up their Seifu insurance fund to $1 billion. And they're basically doing everything they can to make people look at Binance and I guess the crypto world in general in a different light than they're looking at FTX. And, you know, that's really one of the unfortunate things about the crypto market is that when an exchange like FTX starts screwing around, it causes people the world over to panic sell their crypto and to lose faith in cryptocurrency as a whole. Of course, the same thing happens to some degree with the stock market when big stock exchanges engage in tomfoolery. But I think crypto being a much newer thing and obviously not being as central or regulated, it tends to make people more squeamish about its volatility. Now, here's where things start to get really interesting. So this is news that's been unfolding over the past 24 hours or so, and things are very fishy, as you're going to see in a while. So more information is likely going to unfold in the coming days. But around 11:52 p.m. last night, an admin in FTX's official Telegram said that FTX has been hacked. Chat is open. Don't go to the FTX site as it might download Trojans. And they also posted links to tweets talking about people using the FTX app on their phone, getting a virus whenever they updated the app, and they're also linking to transactions on the blockchain here on Etherscan showing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto coming out of FTX wallets, swapping Tether to DAI. So that's the hacking that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, the hacker that did this, or one of the hackers, since it's probably a team, typically that's what we've seen with these big crypto heists, one of the hackers is moving the funds around in a very sloppy way. They are basically like slowly, and it kind of seems like they're manually converting all the various tokens that they stole to Ethereum, and many of the tokens that FTX had are built on the Ethereum blockchain. So they are fairly easy to swap for ETH, but again, it seems weird that they're doing it manually. They've been using a variety of different DeFi exchanges, swapping the coins, and they've also been eating large slippage fees, like in the millions of dollars in some cases. And of course, this is all stuff that's pretty transparent on Etherscan. Again, this is indicating that whoever is doing this is an amateur because they don't know how to hide their activities. They didn't immediately put the money through Tornado Cash or try to flip it into Monero or something that would actually give them some anonymity. But there's a lot of speculation that this hacker that's stealing all of this crypto is actually an FTX insider. It also doesn't look good that when all of this is going down, you know, FTX collapsing as a company, the CEO stepping down, and all of this money getting stolen, that the former CEO's private jet is taking a flight from the Bahamas to Argentina. Well, the flight's already landed, but again, this is all taking place within the hours of the hack going down and the company collapsing. So this is very suspicious, and it almost makes it seem like the CEO is fleeing along with some funds. We don't know for sure if he's on that plane. We do know that obviously someone is on it, and of course, it is his plane. So I'm not going to go any more into the conspiracy that this hacker who stole 600 million in cryptocurrency from FTX is actually an FTX insider. But like I said, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of smoke, but there's no fire about who that hacker is. And Nick Percoco, the chief security officer at Kraken, claims to know who the hacker is because Kraken is one of the exchanges that was used by these hackers to offload a lot of that stolen crypto. And Kraken is a KYC exchange. So it makes sense that they would know who the hacker is based on that KYC info. And maybe they're going to announce to the public who it was in the near future. Now, what does all of this mean for the crypto markets going forward? What can we take away from this? Well, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, Litecoin, whatever, all the good cryptos that we love, they're going to bounce back from this as they have in the past. Whether it's MT Gox getting hacked, Bitfinex collapsing, COVID-19, this implosion of FTX, this is all just another black swan event as far as the price impact to any of the decent cryptocurrencies go. But in terms of exchanges burning their customers, not letting people get funds out of their custodial wallets, or exchanges creating centralized cryptos that go bust because they play musical chairs with their investments in different shell companies, that's going to continue to happen, which is why I'll use this as another opportunity to remind you that if you invest in crypto through Robinhood, Coinbase, or any of these other places that don't give you the private keys to your crypto wallets, then you don't actually own that crypto. Never keep large amounts of feed in barns where you don't have the seed. Otherwise, your cattle aren't going to survive the winter, and you'll be out here eating Hot Pockets with the rest of the city slickers.